My friends, I got fed up of reporting every single second about SUNO Shenanigans, but this one I had to jump on because I saw Studio 2.0 was out and I just couldn't be bothered putting out another video. I've been putting out too much content, but I wanted to let you naysayers and SUNO haters know this. SUNO a few hours ago came up with the announcement of Studio 2.0. But the most important thing about Studio 2.0 is that not only is the horrible latency gone away, not only does it have MIDI support, which is, I tell you, I was so amazed and impressed when I plugged in my keyboard to Studio and I got like zero latency. I could barely believe myself. But anyway, let's go to MBW Music Business Worldwide. They have an announcement. Suno launches Studio 2.0 with MIDI support, an AI chat bar, and no download limit. Now I'm going to go into 2.0. I'll show you what I've been working on later. But for now, I wanted to cover the news about 2.0's release. Did you think people only use Suno to make songs for their friends and family or in the hope of siphoning royalties from the streaming services? Not so. Suno Studio, the company's browser-based digital audio workstation, DAW, is geared towards the professional end of music making. And I like to go a step further and correct MBW that it's a GAW, not a DAW. It's a generative audio workstation, which is on top of its being a DAW. And August 13th, they launched 2.0. The update adds features such as MIDI support, a better AI chat bar, which is kind of nifty, by the way, and advanced stem separation plus new audio effects and automations. Suno claims that Grammy-winning artists have used Suno Studio in the past to make chart-topping hits. Today's news comes shortly after Suno confirmed that it will cap the number of songs its users can download each month, with changes taking effect on September 3rd. Free Suno users will be limited to 7 downloads. Pro subscribers, they'll be limited to 20 downloads, and Premier subscribers will be limited to 60 a month. Suno said these limits will make it harder for bad actors to mass export music. Yet, Suno Studio, available only to Premier members, will have no download limits moving forward, Suno said. And this shows me probably where Suno's heart is. Their heart is not to stand in the way of creators, but they want to stand in the way of bad actors. Otherwise, they could have capped this as well. But they are not capping it. They're allowing you to download all you want within Suno Studio. And the incentive there is for you to truly become a capable musician by knowing how to manipulate stems and frequencies and sonic sculpt. And it just tells you a little bit about the company. I know it's been quite demonized in the past few days, but honestly, what is the difference? That we might as well say Premiere. If you are capable of using the GAW, you have unlimited downloads. So it said in today's Studio 2.0 announcement, Suno reiterated that Premiere subscribers can export 32-bit 48 kilohertz multi-tracks and stems from Studio 2.0 without limitation. You can always export what you did in Suno into Suno Studio, I should say, import it into Suno Studio, and you can then export that track out. So it's pretty much still boiling down to downloads without limits if you know what to do and how you're doing it. For those who wish to, Studio 2.0 allows real musicians playing real instruments to record music into the platform before manipulating it using Suno's tools. Henry Phipps, Suno Studio's product manager, wrote in a blog, and shout out to Henry for that really great demo because it showed a lot of what it could do. If you haven't already watched the video on Suno's site or Suno's YouTube, you should. There's a long lineage of pre-AI music technology that many musicians, along with us folks, built in studio, love, and rely on. These modern music foundations like guitars, drums, synth, effects, and step sequences are tried and true. Yes, indeed. MIDI support, which Suno describes as the most requested addition to Studio, lets users import, record, and edit MIDI on the timeline, and that's very commendable. And what Suno says is a feature unique to Studio, MIDI clips can also be used as a prompt for new audio generations, which is just ridiculous. That's really cool. The chat bar launching in beta lets users talk to Suno like you would any collaborator. Suno says the chat can create instruments and vocals, help build custom plugins, and even tidy up your session. But he said prompts are no substitute for playing a part on a MIDI keyboard or recording with a microphone. And I like that perspective. That point of view is pretty cool. It's good to have that mindedness and that grounding. SUNO Studio launched in September 2025, initially in beta for Premiere subscribers. The tool built on Suno's acquisition of WavTool, a browser-based DAW, earlier that year. Studio 2 arrives a day after Suno announced a global alliance with BMG. It made BMG the first rights holder to license Suno since Warner Music Group settled its litigation and struck a deal. And, shout out to BMG, because BMG, they didn't go the litigation route. So, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong in litigation when it needs to happen, but they chose to make peace and just make sense. Major companies, Universal and Sony, however, remain in copyright litigation against Suno in the US. Suno also faces action in Denmark with Denmark's Coda and Gamer, which we've already talked about. So there you have it, my friends. That is the more administrative side of Studio 2.0. The reduction of the latency is just beautiful. The addition of MIDI is ridiculous. I'm going to be in there creating a lot of stuff with MIDI. And just the overall expansion to allow effects and plugins that you dream of, that's sick. So you're going to be seeing me creating a lot in 2.0. But for now, we got some additional Suno shenanigans to talk about. So you'll be seeing some more videos about the terms of service and other things that I need to clear up. But if you haven't joined my 9.3 movement, look for my video on Suno Survival Guide and join. We're going to be doing a lot with that tool. Okay? Look for it in the channel. I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.